Let me transfer you.
Switch to Farm Bureau Insurance today and get real service instead of getting really tangled up. For auto, home, life, and health, get the membership advantage. Get Farm Bureau Insurance.
I thought that was a great college basketball game. The second one, actually third one in a row we've been involved in. Just a great game, great atmosphere, great crowd. Two very, very good teams who play extremely hard. I'm obviously proud of how we played. And those two guys, David and Ryan, they deserve to have a game like this on their senior night. And I can't count the number of contributions they made to this program, especially when they came in and where we are now. It just be impossible for me to count. So I'm super proud that we played well and got them a win, and obviously they were an integral part of another victory for us. Ryan was the very first guy we recruited, and to see him come through the university, it's not the easiest thing in the world to go to college in your hometown, because the real basketball fans have seen you and kind of, they have an opinion of who you are and how you're going to be. And he's really exceeded expectations because of how hard he's worked and how mature he's become. David is such a strong-willed player, and I've said many times he's the most genuine person that I know. You guys can see it now. That's the same as he would be if, when we're going to be on the bus in a couple hours. So those guys mean the world to me personally, and that's what I can speak to the best of how much they've helped build the program. It's to the point now where I'm helping them, and they just mean a ton to me personally. And to the university, I think, these are guys who do well in school. They're extremely respectful. They play as hard as you could ask anyone to play, and they've risen the level of Richmond basketball to national prominence. So I couldn't ask anything more out of them. I will over the next few weeks, but I couldn't ask anything more out of them. No, David is, he shocks me with the amount of energy that he has, and he will be the loudest guy on the bus as we go down to Charlotte, and the most energetic about a video game or a song on the iPod. And we come into the huddles, and he's using all his energy in the huddle instead of relaxing. And for him to be able to dig in on defense and then to also make shots the way he does is phenomenal. Yeah, I'm thinking David's going to do something at some point. And, David has his freshman year, we always tease him when he would have the ball on the wing and he'd start dribbling around, and I'd call timeout right in the middle of his dribble, just to try to emphasize that, hey, we need the ball to move. And he's become so much more efficient because he's a student of the game, and he understands coaching, and he knows what works. And so I'm always expecting him to make a play. Literally, and almost, probably to a fault of mine, I'm always expecting him to make a play.
Large bid.
I probably haven't talked about it yet, John. I would think so. I wish the committee would call and say, don't worry about anything else, but I don't think that's the way it works. What I do know, I think there's the most regular season wins. That's something special at Richmond, the most A-10 wins. I know I could make a really strong case for us, and I would think that the amount of teams we've beaten that are, nationally ranked or in the top 50 RPI is really a huge number. So I would think that we look pretty good. I think what's left is, honestly, there are now two teams in our conference who have beaten us the previous time we've played them. So of the other 13, one is Charlotte and one is Xavier. Fortunately, we get to go to Charlotte and play and see how we can do, and then hopefully we'll meet Xavier again in Atlantic City. It was 3 before tonight. Dayton had beaten us last year. So, to be honest, John, I don't foresee having a difficult time motivating our players. I don't foresee having a difficult time having a good practice tomorrow. And now we may not play great and we might not win the game, but I don't think it's going to be our approach or our mindset. He was, it's funny, I went to see Francis play. It's hard for the head coach to go see a recruit play after he was already signed, 2 years ago. Went up to Montreal, had to make a connection, long day. I think he played 8 minutes and fouled out of the game. So I knew he was aggressive. But Fran, I think Fran's going to be a really good player. I think he's a scorer, I think, and we're not even seeing that part of his game because I think he's focusing on his aggressiveness and his defense and his hustle, which he's been great. Gave us a huge lift. Is as athletic as anybody on the floor, which is saying something in a game like tonight with all the athletes on both teams. And I really think that his approach, how he goes about his business is going to pay off for him, and he's going to be a very good player for us. Well, I have to think that we're one of the toughest teams in college basketball. And I know I'm biased, and I think Dayton is. But for us to play as hard as we do, to come up with and make plays at the times that we do, I think it's really it points to our character, which is high, and I think our toughness level is extremely high. I'm just so impressed with how our guys dig in, home, road, fast game, slow game, as you said, and just so impressed with them and how they approach the game and how they approach coming out of timeouts and how they approach possessions. I think there's just a high character and a high toughness level. No, it wasn't frustrating because I thought being at home, the atmosphere that we had, I knew a shot or two would fall. We're a good shooting team and we hadn't shot well at all to that point. I knew a shot or two would fall. It was just important not to let it get to 10 or 12 to make sure we're still within striking distance when we started to make shots. A little bit. It's hard in the I think as a coach, you're thinking, what's the best way to guard them? What's the best way to defend them? And so we're kind of making our subs, based on that. And now, and then, that might not be your best shooting team. And so, but I do think in the back of my mind that I know that, hey, we're gonna make some shots. And especially the kind of game it was. And, it was a struggle to get shots, but it wasn't impossible to get shots. It's funny, a fan said to me after the game, let's get the rebounding cleaned up. We have 14 steals, won the game, won our 23rd game of the year. And well, I'll tell you what, when you play a team that's so big and physical, and we're playing a small lineup, we're gonna have a better chance of turning them over. They're gonna rebound better. So they rebound great against everybody, and tonight. They were tremendous. Right, exactly. We wanted to keep it close on the backboard, and we did not. But we still were able to able to do the things that we are good at.
Richmond's had just a tremendous year. Chris has done such a good job with the team, and they rely on those upperclassmen. Those guys have carried them throughout the year and made big plays for them. And that's exactly what happened tonight. When they were struggling to score at times, Anderson was able to carry them. They needed a couple baskets, and all of a sudden now Harper hits a couple threes, and Gonzalez hit the big one at the end there too. So it was pretty good defense on our part. So you give them credit. We lose another tough game, which is hard, but I thought our guys played extremely hard. I thought we competed. I thought. If you eliminate one aspect of the game, we did everything that we wanted. The problem is that one aspect is the turnovers. We wanted to push the ball. We wanted to play at a fast pace. I liked the pace that we played at it in the first half. In the second half, they extended a little bit, and we still wanted to play at that pace. You just got to do a little better job of taking care of the ball. I think we had probably 12 turnovers in the second half. And in a 20-minute game, 12 turnovers in a half probably equals more or less every other possession. And you just can't do that against a quality team. Well, you can't rebound a turnover. That would be hard to do. And so that's what ended up happening. We just turned the ball over too much, and now, we didn't even get some shots up on the rim.